Hi, this is a continuation from my Why I Believe in Christianity series. Uh, to summarize, basically, we have a worldview that believes that there is a God, one, and that God is Christ. Uh, the idea of a human being that was born 2,000 years ago, that is God, is pretty unbelievable for some people. But Christianity basically comes from, the way I see Christianity, comes from three major sources of what we basically know as truth: justice, love, and infinite. Okay, there's a God. That God is love. Whom did He love before He created anything? So basically, the Christianity is the only one that can answer that in the Trinity. Okay, God's by definition is not a creator by definition, but is something that He does. His essence is love, justice, good. So basically, the love aspect of God, which is whom did He love before He created anything, is answered only in Christianity, according to what I've learned in the Trinity. Love is given, love is an action towards another, and you cannot have that with only a single being. The monotheistic theologies basically tell you that there is a beginning to the universe, beginning to everything that is created. That beginning is coming from a cause that is uncaused. That by definition is God. So basically you have a God that is love, and if He's love, He has to be multiplicity of persons. Okay, Christianity has that down. Creator, God, creates only good, cannot create evil. It's against His character. But there's evil in the world. The good must correct the evil. How is that done? Okay, what's the cure for the evil that we see in mankind? The correction has to do with a kind of sort of like an exchange that will wipe out completely the evil. Evil we understand as actions of sentient beings, in this case human beings. Those actions, attitudes are distanced from God, is what is called evil or sin. Okay, that sin basically separated, or that separation is what we call the state of affairs of humanity. Okay, if you have a question in regards to evil, just look around. There's a lot of evil in humanity. How is that corrected? That's corrected only through a special means by which that evil is addressed in its essence. Since the sin, transgression, and evil is an infinite in nature, because it's against a God who is infinite, only an infinite being can actually correct it. Christianity, again, in the person of Christ, which is God, an infinite being, comes in and pays, takes away, the effects of that evil in mankind. One condition is you accept the payment or not. Okay, you're free. God created you free. If you don't accept the payment, then you must pay, because justice will tell you you gotta pay. Basically, that is the three aspects that I brought in the previous video in regards to the why I believe Christianity is true. Now I'm going to address a critique of the holy book of Christianity, the Bible. And it goes like this: how come a just and loving God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, asked the Jews to wipe out races, wipe out people, killing women, children, and everything in those nations back there in the Old Testament? It seems like God is unjust, horror person, according to our, 21st century modern way of thinking. Uh, One thing about that criticism is that uh, you forget that the Bible itself, is written to people at specific times. What was the development of these people in regards to how they know about right, wrong, consciousness? What was the development? Okay, so basically, you have a situation in which God acts and deals with humanity according to their development. Okay, uh, we looking from the 21st century at human rights and the value of life, and from this perspective, imposing judgments on how God operated in the Old Testament. It's kind of sort of like strange, because it's like you have to understand uh, the development of human consciousness at that time. Remember, that's way before even philosophy was discovered. People, even around Socrates, didn't know how to think that well. Okay, so basically they were having a very different kind of sort of like way of looking at life than you do. 100,000 years ago, humans were in caves. Are you going to judge what they did or what other people did to them according to, your 21st century morality, human rights ideas, or what you think God should do? Okay, I think it's strange. Basically, when you look at the definition of in the book, in the Bible, it's got rules, and if you don't play by those rules in the book, then you have a distorted idea of what and how God operated uh, back there. The first rule is there's a God that operates with those people back there. That God knows everything. He's omniscient. I'm not going to go into that too much because I personally don't like it too much. But I'm going to say if we can understand potentials of people's lives, what the potential for somebody to become in X or Y according to X or Y of what they have done and are and continue doing. And we actually do this a lot. Okay, we judge people in their past life or past behavior uh, that provides a sort of like guidelines towards a potential for that person to have, let's say, a high security job in the army. Okay, you have an high IQ individual with a whole bunch of potential for deciphering codes and being, some kind of a genius, army code breaker. Okay, this person gets a background and they find out that he had or she had a juvenile record, maybe a misdemeanor, and they don't give him that job. Okay, that action that person made when he was 13, 14 years old prevents him from actually being employed by the armed forces for a high security job. Why? That person is not the same, has changed yet. He's not going to get the job. Okay, it's all about potential. It's about if you have done something in your life, although you are not doing it, there's no real evidence that you will ever, do that misdemeanor or whatever. Still, because there may be a potential, there may be a chance in your character that you could do something similar. You're not getting that job. Now that's us human beings judging other people according to what they did. So imagine a God that is dealing with people that were very backwards back there. Okay, that when he sees those people, he says like, there's no potential for anybody to be good. Like Sodom and Gomorrah. These people even wanted to rape the angels when the angel visited to take Lot out of the Sodom. So basically, what you have is a being that knows so well the character of man at that time and knows the potential. So he acted on the potential of the indwellers of those two cities. Uh, did they have any potential to be any good? No. Okay, so he decided to destroy them. Think about what happens in the conversation with Abraham and God. In the Bible tells you that Abraham pleads for God not to destroy the cities based on, is there, he says, if there's 100 just people there, would you destroy it? He says no, not for 100 people. And the count goes down to 80, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. And then Abraham stops at 10 because he knew, well, maybe there's more than 10 people in the family of Lot. So, he says, well, what about Lot, my friend? And God says, no, because of Lot, I will not destroy the city with Lot in it. Basically, that's what he says. But, ask Lot to leave the city and I will destroy it. And so he did. Okay, so a lot of people criticize that action of God. Oh, he's a horrible God, that destroyed those people, killing all of those women and pregnant women and innocent children and stuff like that. Well, part of the Bible idea is that the soul is mortal, but souls are born into human beings innocent. Okay, and those souls are basically have no fault of their own. They're not guilty of any sin that is actually that they can be accounted to because of their innocence. Okay, and that's usually the age of accountability, I think it's called. But basically, those are the fetuses and pregnant women and the innocent children. So when God destroyed those people back there, He showed a infinite, merciful love for the innocent, because those innocents were basically saved. Okay, those souls were taken away before they could actually learn evil. Okay, so basically, they had no chances of becoming good, and God destroyed them because of like what they were doing, also because of to protect and enhance the children of Israel's progress in that land. There's a lot of nations that were against them. It is said that in the Bible, the promise that the Messiah will be coming from those people. Okay, it could have come from any nation, but it just happens they were probably the best one out there that God chose. Okay, He chose Abraham, He chose Moses, but of course, just like the best ones out there. Okay, the rest of the people were not. So basically, when you look at the Old Testament, you say, well, that horror chambers and a horrific, God that is a God of hate that wipes out nations and stuff like that. You have to understand that He could not have done it any other way, and the way He did it showed mercy and love for the innocent people. Okay, it's almost like there was nobody that could even accept or really understand the right, the wrong, the how to do things well enough for them to be chosen. Even the Israel people, the children of Israel, when you look at the Bible and read it, and Moses is getting them out of the Egypt, and they see the manna there, they see the column of fire at night, the column of the column of clouds during the day. They see day by day these miracles happening in their lives, and then Moses take a hike to the mountain, and when he comes back, they're just basically having a party around a golden calf. Okay, what is it that they did not understand? I mean, they were every single day reminded of the miraculous acts of the God that they believed by tradition, and yet they forget so quickly. So you basically have people out there that were pretty hard-headed, pretty backwards in this thinking. You cannot You cannot judge, how God operated with those people with the way God operates with our civilizations in modern times. We have grown a lot. We have evolved our mind. So basically, that's my 2 cents in the criticism of the Bible as not true, because that God cannot be, a loving God if He did this or that other, thing. Okay, the only way to criticize the Bible would be to understand that God is love, and to interpret the idea that how does that look with the accounts of what happened back there. Okay, you have to assume there's a God. You have to assume He's loving, and that His acts with men are just. Okay, the only way you can do a criticism on the Bible, which, by the way, we've been doing our own criticism for 2,000 years. It's called Christian theology. Many books written about it throughout our history. Great minds like St. Augustine, Thomas Aquinas, and modern philosophers that keep writing, like Gary Habermas, J.P. Moreland, William J. Craig, and very smart people, and we have and amass a huge amount of theology that explains a lot of the things that so cheaply people criticize just because they don't like the Bible, they don't believe in God, and they didn't go in the business of criticizing the Bible without the proper, what I consider the proper rules. You got to play by the rules if you're going to criticize the Bible, and the rules are: there's a God, and if what He did makes sense. If there's a God, if you don't believe there's no God, it's like it's no sense in criticizing the Bible, because everything is backwards, everything is bad. Okay, because you're coming from the position you assume there's not a God. Okay, it's basically my sense on that criticism. I will upload more and more of this as I come to think about this thing, and I hope this one video I was able to upload it. I had a lot of trouble trying this. Thank you very much.